Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Coming to you today with a little bit of out of left field video here. Something I've thought about when I'm trucking, and I thought I'd make a video about it. I want to do more of these. Let me know down in the comments if you like them. If you don't, whatever, you know, go watch something else, I guess. I don't know what they. If you do like it, smash that like button for me. If you're not a subscriber, about 50% of my videos are watched by non-subscribers. I get it, I'm not for everybody, but if you do like it and you want to see more of it, be sure to subscribe. So today we're going to talk about stock prices on some trucking companies. So back in 2020 and 2021, when the freight market was on fire, these trucking stocks were through the roof. And me and a buddy of mine was talking about, hey, we got to remember this, because when things go back down, because trucking is constantly up and down and up and down, and like maybe we get in on some of these trucking companies and make some money. Now, this is not financial advice. This is just stuff I think about. If you act on it, you need to do your own research. I should have Jim Kramer come in here with that little disclaimer he does, you know. But I'm not here to tell you to do this. I'm just telling you this is food for thought, okay? Something to think about. So when the market was up really good, all these trucking companies were like giving, I know Martin Transport, I think, was one of them. They gave a special dividend of like $1 per share, okay, when things were up. And then as things come down and slow down in trucking, their prices are starting to do the same. Keep an eye on this. Now, some of these are going to be up, some of them are going to be down. You just got to do your own research on it, and you got to, you know, for me, I'm not going to put too much money into these stocks, because I like to make money in trucking and then take the money I make in trucking and get it out of trucking, because it's very cyclical. It goes up and it comes down and it goes up and it comes down, and I like things that are a little bit more steady. But if I can dip in with a couple thousand and make some money, I'm probably going to try it. So let's talk about my strategies and my thoughts on this, okay? So everybody right now is sitting around, the brokers are ripping me off. I can't quite argue they're not, but here's the thing. If someone's getting you, figure out how to get in on it. Back in the financial crisis in 2008, when the government was handing out all these $50 billion checks to these banks, I asked myself, how in the hell do I get my hands on that money? And I did. I got my hands on some of that money by working for the banks at that time. So that's what we do. That's how we get that money. So if the brokers are getting you so bad right now, why not throw a little money into broker stocks, okay? Because if they're getting over on everybody, that should show up on the bottom line, right? That should show up in the profit margins for the brokerages. Think about it. So I got 4 straight brokerages that you could think about investing in. C.H. Robinson, the big gorilla on the block. Think about C.H. Robinson. Echo Global Logistics, Coyote Logistics, and that 4th one, ooh, everybody gonna hate me for this one, TQL. Think about investing in TQL. You know, the one that everybody loves to hate. Think about investing in it. Own a little bit of that TQL life if you think they're doing everybody so dirty. So that's your stocks for the brokerages. Now, here is a list of companies I've put together that have trucking companies and a brokerage attached to it, okay? So most of these guys started out as trucking companies, and then once you grow a trucking company so big, you typically you pair it up with a brokerage, because you're moving so much freight, you got direct customers, you might as well have a brokerage, right? Here's a couple to think about, okay, on this end. Landstar, okay? Landstar is, you know, they don't really even own much equipment other than trailers. So think about Landstar. J.B. Hunt, another one, giant brokerage, and they're big in intermodal. You know, until I started looking into trucking stocks a few years back, I had no idea how big J.B. Hunt was. I knew J.B. Hunt was big, but man, their intermodal game is off the chain. So think about that, you know, because I think the future of trucking is going to be more rail related. I kind of think it might go that way a little bit, but I got other videos coming on that too, so be sure to subscribe. XPO, big brokerage, also in trucking, and they're in the LTL game. So there you go. If you want LTL exposure and brokerage exposure, think about XPO. Werner, I've hauled a lot of Werner loads, especially when I used to do dry van. I used to get Werner loads out of Laredo all the time. I mean, I would go to the Werner yard in Laredo and load off a cross dock there. Hub Group, another one. They bought, who was it? Chop Tank, I think Hub Group bought. So they bought in a big brokerage, and they already got that intermodal game going. So keep that in mind. Schneider is another one, with a lot of brokerage and a lot of trucking as well. And then if you want some LTL plays, Old Dominion is kind of the standard to me. Old Dominion is like premium A+ on the stocks for LTL companies to look at. But here's one, a little sideways action. I didn't want to just bring you, stuff that was like mundane. Everybody's thought about it. Here's a little sideways action for you, okay? Yellow Corp. Used to be YRC, used to be Yellow Roadway, used to be Yellow Cab, now Yellow Corp, okay? You guys know the ones. So here's what they got going on, okay? They have a union contract coming up in about a year, okay? Typically, they don't play well with the union. I'm just saying, that's my opinion. That's how I look at it. They have a lot of grift back and forth between the union and YRC. It's yellow now. Oh, I got to burn that into my brain. They change their name about every 5 years. It really messes with me. So Yellow is going to have that union contract coming up. Here's the thing. Yellow is hurting right now, okay? They're going back down after that big government subsidy they were given. They, I guess that money ran out, and now they're back to, they're hurt, okay? Just from what I see, they're hurt. So, if the government bailed them out last time and wouldn't let them go out of business, do they do it again? See, that's the thing. When this union contract gets closer and closer, keep an eye on that yellow stock, okay? That yellow stock comes down, like, it was down to like under $2 a share, or right at $2 a share a couple years ago. And then it went up like 2-3x, okay? So keep an eye on that, because if the government's going to keep bailing them out, then that's the type of company you might want to get in bed with when they're down. Let them go down. Think about it. Government's not going to let them go out of business because apparently they're an essential government contractor. Just saying they're restructuring right now, so they could come out the other side of this. It's a gamble. But here's the thing. If the government keeps them afloat, they're in a really good position because they're restructuring. They're trying to cut their cost right now. If they can get this union contract done and the government keeps on pumping freight to them, then you might have a winner right there. But it's a long shot, okay? Here's another strategy that's a little bit out of left field, okay? Ritchie Brothers auctions, okay? I think about Ritchie Brothers auctions like this, okay? We're hitting a cycle right now where people are wanting to dump some equipment. If you've got old trailers sitting around, you're not gonna re-register those things. If you don't have the customer base to need a trailer pool, you're thinning that trailer pool right now. If you're in a bad situation, a lot of these bank-owned trucks are going to end up at Ritchie Brothers being auctioned off, okay? Keep that in mind. Next time you go by Ritchie Brothers, do me a favor. Look at the Ritchie Brothers. Look at the next auction date. See how full that auction yard is. I went by the one in southern Minnesota the other day. The auction's not for like another month, and the yard is like packed with trailers already. Dry van trailers sitting everywhere. So, Ritchie Brothers makes a percentage off of all those sales. Keep Ritchie Brothers in mind. Might be a good long-term play. I don't know. Do your own research, of course. Here's a couple more companies with a little side action. Heartland Express and Knight Swift. What do we know about those two companies from watching my channel? They like to buy other trucking companies. Right now, here's the thing. Trucking companies are on sale because freight's down. And if you've got a big stack of cash from when freight was good, when freight was paying good, if you stacked your $100 bills up, or you got more credit than you know what to do with, and you lock that in at a decent interest rate, what do you do with that money? If you're a trucking company, you go buy another trucking company. Right, correct. So think about those two. I'm surprised. I mean, like the other day, Knight Swift bought U.S. Express billion companies these things are scooping up right now. Now, they gave $808 million for U.S. Express, but they got a deal on that. U.S. Express is a $1 billion company to me. You know, like they caught them on sale and on double on sale because they overpaid and still got a deal. Like, still got a deal. So, keep that in mind. Heartland hasn't bought anybody in about, 6 months? That's rare for Heartland. They could be on the look right now. Also, Knight Swift has said, they came out and said they're looking for another LTL company to buy. They bought AAA Cooper about a year ago, and they're ready to buy again, they said. So, keep that in mind. Let me know in the comments, what LTL carrier do you think Knight Swift will buy? I'll give you a few things I've thought about. I don't think they'll come after Yellow because of the union obligations Yellow has. That doesn't seem like their style. And I don't think they'll buy Old Dominion because Old Dominion's so pricey. But some small regional guys you got to think about. Like, what about a Dayton Freight? You know, what about a Central Transport? You know, the yellow trucks out of Michigan. You know, what about somebody like that? You let me know down in the comments what LTL carrier you think Swift's coming after. And then here are just a few more trucking companies. Some of them have some exposure to some brokerage as well, but these are mostly trucking companies in my opinion. Forward Air. Forward Air has an interesting model. You know, it's a lot of LTL dedicated to the final mile. They contract that final mile out. Very interesting setup. Covenant Logistics, another company that likes to buy up companies. Keep them, you know, in your peripheral. Martin Transport, another good reefer company. If you want to be tied into that reefer game, get you some Martin Transport, or look into them, I should say. Don't buy them on my account, but look into them because they got that reefer exposure and they got a good sized brokerage. Very good sized brokerage. I haul a few Martin loads myself. And then the parcel companies, FedEx and UPS. UPS is in a deal right now with the union again, with the Teamsters. I'll make more videos about that as it gets a little bit more heated, but they got a contract coming up they're working on. So, and FedEx is restructuring right now. So a lot going on with these publicly traded carriers and brokerages right now. So just a little food for thought. You know, there might be some deals out there right now. And then you never know, like things could turn on a dime in trucking. You know, like look at what we went through in 2020. The first quarter was literally one of the worst quarters in trucking. One of the worst. Absolute. Go back and look at it. If you wasn't in trucking at the time, you wouldn't run in spot market. Now, if you were at a big company running, you know, contract freight, you were insulated. But if you were on the spot market and you pulled up that load board on Monday morning, you know what I was talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So, if you want some exposure to these big brokerages and these, you know, big trucking companies, think about that 2020. First quarter, horrible. Second quarter, lights on fire. Third and fourth quarter, probably the third, fourth quarter of 2020 was probably my best time of trucking ever. I mean, it was like you could throw a rock and hit $4 a mile load everywhere. You know, no traffic on the road. Like, don't get me started on that. That'll be a 30-minute video just telling you how much I loved all that. But as far as trucking goes, I didn't like the other part of the economy. But there you go, guys. Think about it. Just something to think about. You know, I've really learned in stocks and investing to get rid of the emotion and literally buckle down on and save my money when things are good. And then when things go down, that's where you make your money. You know, that guy on that show, Fast and Loud, Richard Rawlings, he says, you make your money when you buy something, not when you sell it. And I think that's very true for stocks. You make your money when you buy in. So, you know, don't catch the hype. You know, when everything's through the roof on stocks in the trucking industry, you know, everything looked really good back then, but then look how quick we turned and went down. Now we're down. Well, we could go farther, I don't know. But I know we're down a lot from where we were. So it's time to start thinking and looking. And, you know, with these big companies buying up all these other companies, if you notice throughout time, the way these big companies position themselves is amazing. When things are good, they run it, they stack it, and then when things start to go bad, they buy their competition. And then when things start to turn and go back good, they're in a position with way more trucks, way more drivers, way more freight, way more trailers. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's like You would think these guys went to business school. They're doing it so good, you know. There's a reason those guys make those millions and millions of dollars. You know, they're thinking years ahead, not weeks, not months. They're years ahead. So keep that in mind. Let's use their strategy, okay? I'm thinking to myself like the night swift. You know, I need to buy my competition. My little list I got here, that's my competition. You know, JB Hunt, Landstar, XPO, Werner, Hub, all of those are my competition. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to purchase them while the price is down. That's what I'm going to do. You do your own research. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you made it this far, smash the like button for me, please. If you want more trucking content, making money in trucking content, that's what I'm all about. That's why the name is Cash. Go ahead and subscribe. Ring that bell. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, take care of each other out there. And also, remember, people are more important than trucking. Hi, real quick, I want to talk to you about Mytee Products, spelled M-Y-T-E-E Products. Check them out. They got a great website loaded with trucker gear and trucker supplies. If you're a trucker and you're in need of anything flatbed related or toolboxes, they've got things for all genres of trucking, from flatbed, car hauling, reefer. If you're a trucker, they've got something you need, I promise. Go check them out. Use the link in the description down below when you shop, and be sure to put in save 10 to get $10 off an order of $250. Thanks for shopping.